Good morning, everybody. This is the Early Bird Show. It's 4 a.m. Eastern Time. It's 10 o'clock in Amsterdam. Welcome to another day trading day. It is still earnings week. We are still in earnings season. Sometimes you forget, and I just looked at the earnings this week. They are now up my screen. They're not up my screen. I'm gonna pull them up on my screen. Boom, there they are. Jumia, Palantir we have, and Fubo after the close today, and QuantumScape. And tomorrow we have Wendy's, we have Wish, Coupang, and we have Thursday Alibaba, Disney, Blink, Coinbase. Coinbase. They are not the big names. Well, Alibaba is, and Disney is, of course, and DoorDash I see on Thursday after the close. So it's really still earnings season, and sometimes you forget about it because the queues got hit yesterday. The queues got hit, and what are we gonna do when something gets hit? We're gonna buy the dip. We are gonna buy the dip if we can, and if there's a setup. And if you are comfortable doing that. So I just showed you the clip of what's going to happen the day after tomorrow. So please check in. I'm going to play that promo once more. It's all about small caps. So we're going to do some small caps too today. We have a watch list, do we? Yes, we do. Look at this: Fubo, Palantir, Jumia, ET, GHT, NTQ, Blink, Peloton, VSTM, Fastly, NBLX, AR, and WU. Hey, Luca, good morning. Salim, good morning. What do you think about Dogecoin? I don't think about it anymore. I never did. I'm a stock investor. No, not a stock investor. I'm a stock investor in Europe, and I'm a day trader on the American stocks. So I don't do the coins, but we have a great show on Benzinga. You just go to the Benzinga channel, and there's some great footage about these coin-based plays. So please check into that. I'm just going to stick to that what I know, so I'm comfortable with that. And just before we start, I have to do a shout out to Stacy. Everybody who's following me on Twitter, you can just check my handle under this video. She called out a stock yesterday, threw me a curveball. We looked at it. I just watched it back for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes before we even called some levels on this, and that's something that's not uncommon, because sometimes you have to look at the stock and at the graph for some time. You do all time frames, you look at patterns, you look at what's going to happen here, what's going to happen here. Is this a resistance? Is this support? Is this a resistance area? Is this a support area? Is it just a line? How firm is this resistance? How firm is the support? You have to look at that, and we did, and I really am very glad that Stacy yesterday made a few bucks on it. She tweeted it out, so I'm at liberty to say, I guess. So, okay. Just for those who are watching me for the first time, I'm just going to really quick say what we are doing on this show. So what we are doing, this is my main battlefield that you see here. So for graphs with stocks that I'm interested in, here are the queues. We know what happened to the queues yesterday. And what I'm doing then is that I'm going to look a little bit closer if I think that something's interesting, like this one, for example. I'm going to call some levels. This is a level for me. And for example, this is a level for me. And I got some remarks yesterday in my DM saying, well, that's nice that you're calling these levels, but the stock did this yesterday. Boom. Or it did this yesterday. Oops, boom. It just ran right through those levels. Well, if this is happening, so if I call this a level 677, for example, I'm gonna really look at this later a little bit closer, but let's say this is a level 677. If this is a 1 minute candle, for example, and it just pushes right through it, then this wasn't the level that we were looking for. It just pushes there, and I'm not going to chase a stock. So I don't think, oh, it's going up, I'm going to get in here or here or here or here or here or even here. I just say, okay, I missed this one. That's one thing that happens all the time, even to me, after doing this for a long time, after having this enormous amount of screen time. If a stock just falls through a level like this one, or goes straight up through a level like this one, I'm not going to chase it. I'm taking them off of my screen and say, okay, that's just a pity. I thought it was a level. It wasn't a level. It blew right through it. There's no setup to be made in order to trade this one. I'm going to take it off, and that's it. So that happens. And if you look at my Twitter account, then you can see what I played yesterday. Only one trade. And that one trade I didn't even predict in the early bird show, but in my afternoon show, or in my morning show Eastern time at 8:30, or my afternoon show 1:30 in Amsterdam time. And I think that was an OCGN, if I'm correct. Just looking at OCGN. Yeah, this is the one. So I called out these levels here, got in. This red one line was resistance. This was support. Just hit the support here. It's difficult to see now. It's yesterday. Look at my Twitter account, and you can see properly. Got out here at 80%, and then got out a little bit higher with 20% or something. Look at my Twitter account, and you can see it better than you can see it here. I can really pull it back now because I'm using my TC2000 graphs here, and it's not an obvious play. But the chat yesterday called out another stock, SCCO, I think it was. Yes, it was. Was it? Yes. This one, we called this area here, this level here. This was not an exact level, but it was an area. I said on the show yesterday, I'm not sure if this is a day trade. Well, Stacy was more confident than I was on this one, and just managed to get in here and make a nice trade out of it. If you want to see how she did that, you also can see that on my Twitter account. So what I'm doing here is I'm calling levels, and if it's a level that's just not gonna hold, if it's support of it, or stock just pushes right through it without any setup, then the level was not the level that I wanted to see, and there's no play. So sometimes you just look at your screen and say, okay, this is not a play, this is not a play, this is not a play, and you can do that 10 times or something. And then there's one play comes OCGN, for example, or SCCO in this case, and you make the one play, and you make the one trade a day, and then you walk away because the market does not give you what you want. So you go on, you sit down on a Monday and say, okay, I'm going to be fine today. I'm really hyped about this. I'm psyched. I'm long bias. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go long. I'm going to go short, whatever your play is. And if that doesn't happen, please, please, please don't do the trades, because you're going to lose. Or at least I'm going to lose if I do that. So patience is Patience in the waiting game is just as important as knowing when to get in and when to get out. Hey, Luca, good morning. Looks like watch list looks like yours. That's great. Hey, conversation on character. Thank you. Rabbit trading. Good morning. Numerics PSFE. I'm gonna write that down. Numerics PSFE. Just looking if there's something there. Hamidu Sako. Good morning. Any thoughts on Amazon? I think Amazon had some trouble yesterday. I'm not really sure, but we're gonna look at it. Why not? Just gonna do a lot of small stuff also today, because the day after tomorrow we have this huge day on Benzinga, and you really have to watch it. It's really great. You can learn from other traders. You can learn from traders that are professionals for years. You can learn about companies. You can learn about different strategies. You can learn about how to trade a breakout, how to trade a long reversal, how to trade a short reversal, how to trade the VWAP bounce, how to trade the VWAP rejection. Everything is going to be on the day after tomorrow. So please watch out for that and subscribe to that so that you won't miss a thing. Hey, Stacy, good morning. Entech is on the watch list. Conversations on character. I love that handle. Amazon support between 2,800 and 3,000 area. Whoa. Rabbit trading CRSR. CSR. No. One CRSR. Hey Mark, good morning from Florida. First time visitor, welcome. So I just shortly explained what we do here. I'm going to call levels, support levels, resistance levels, trend lines. Sometimes I just take out Mr. Fibonacci because, well, sometimes you can make nothing out of a chart, and then I take all my old friends. So I'm going to call the levels. I'm going to say this is support, this is resistance. You have to make the play yourself. You have to follow your own strategy, but I'm going to call the levels. Sometimes they're easy, sometimes they are difficult. And if you have all these levels in place, then you really can make some nice trades. And if you follow me on Twitter, then you can see what I did with those levels during the day, or I did nothing with those levels. So thanks for tuning in. And we are gonna, what's happening here? Okay. Oh yeah, I did some, you see here BTU. I'm gonna pull that one up here. So I'm now just, what you see here is not something that I'm in really, but I'm just trying to do something with my option trading. So I have my options screen also here. Where is it? Here, options. So this is BTU. And what I did yesterday is I'm just trying to learn about options. So I bought an option here for BTU. This screen is empty now because you cannot trade options pre-market. So I just got in here hoping that I'm going to make a nice profit. So this is just some training that I'm doing for myself now. So if you see these things here on my screen, and it's just me practicing, you can see it here. So for everybody who is watching me for the first time, normally when my screens are up, you can see this is the 5 minute, left-hand side of the screen, right-hand side of the screen, it's my 1 minute. On my 1 minute, I have this green one, that's the 9 EMA. This yellow one is the 20 EMA. This blue one is the 50 EMA. And this red one is the 200 SMA. and on a 1 minute scale, there's nothing, you don't have anything to do with this 200 SMA, but I mostly look at the 9 and the 20 on a 1 minute scale. And then when I go to the daily, they are also here, all the same lines, and then we are looking to the 50 mostly and to the 200 to see if we can draw some levels from that. Okay, well, let's do that ticker. Let's get into the CRSR. They had great earnings yesterday, that's what you say, and they are down. Gaming, cross-air gaming, technology sector. Well, they had earnings right in the moment that the queues were going down, so the whole tech sector went down. I see why you are contemplating this and thinking, wow, how can this be after good? I didn't see the earnings, but I'm going to believe that the earnings were okay. Maybe earnings were not as high as one expected. That's always something that happens. We talked about Philips for, I think 3 weeks ago. They had great earnings and they went down. Normally, you could say, okay, it's buy the rumor, sell the news. So buying into earnings is always a risk because, well, you know now why. So there's no rhyme or reason for this to happen other than maybe tech got hit and Corsair Gaming just got their earnings out when the queues went down. I think that's the main explanation for this one. So what you want to see then, if this is just another, this and this is just another panic sell, or can you buy the dip on this one? It's a very recent IPO, almost a year old now. No, October, not a year old, from October, IPO'd in October. So just gonna look if we're gonna see and find some levels. It has a lot of resistance here to the upside. It's the 9 EMA, the 20 EMA, and the 50 EMA. Especially the 50 EMA on a daily is big resistance. They really expected more from this one, as you can see here. So just has this tendency to spike up like this one and then get down again. Spike up, not with the same altitude as this one, but just spike up and then go down again. But it really gets up on its feet again, spikes up again, but never holds these levels. Here it goes down, spikes up again, and doesn't hold it. Spikes up again and doesn't hold it. And then from this point on, the spikes here are really getting smaller and smaller, and just here this other spike up again, not as big as all the other ones, but they're still, if you want to look at it that way, is still this spike up, and then after a while, after it's going down, it gets up again, but it rarely gets up. Here it does, and here it does, but this one doesn't hold at all. And since February, the spikes are getting smaller and smaller. Do you see that? And they never get up to the levels that they were before. This is just some hope maybe that somebody trying to say, okay, well, this is going to be the next high here, and now we're going to see this trend line go up again. So this is the curl you want to see on any time frame, also on a daily. But yeah, is this is technically spoken a higher high than this one, but I really have trouble seeing a curve going up here. So when it spikes up and goes down, spikes up and goes down, then you really want to see the next spike. It's not going to get as high as this one. So and the spikes down here are constantly from this point on lower lows. And this is a higher low, and this is a higher low, and this is a higher high compared to this one. So someone might say, well, but I don't see, this is more chop to me than a reversal. And because of these big spikes down here, okay, normally you could say, okay, this is a level here. But looking back at this one, it does not hold levels like this. So you cannot say, so that normally you would say this is a level here on this point, but it just fell right through it. So this is not a level for me either now. So you cannot just call this a level because there's a low here. So this is a price action play all the way. Or is it? You know, the problem with this one is you want to see this one go. You want to see when this one's gonna bounce. So is this the low, or will it even go further and then like this? So this could be a spike which could occur today or tomorrow or the day after, because the levels here that you see really don't hold. So if there's no support to be found, this is also not a support level that I like. If there is no support to be found, then maybe this is just going somewhere. Then if you want to see something, then this is a double top here. So to the downside, I'm not going to call a level here. I'm going to call this resistance area here, where yellow and green are really close together. That's around this 33 mark. In order to be long bias on this one again, I really want to see this 33 level to break. So at 31.20 can move 165, so that can be done in one day. And then the next level here is around 34. So I want to see some upside in this one before I even contemplate this one to be a play. So that's the first curveball that someone threw me this day. It's a difficult one. You can say, some people say, okay, if this goes, why don't you short it here? Well, I want to see a level, because I don't know what the level is here. If I'm going to short it here and it decides to stop here, then I have no gains. So I will always want to trade from one level to another level. That's just how I trade. You can always take the gamble here. Say, okay, this is a lower low compared to this one. This will be a lower low compared to this one. This will be a lower high compared to this one. So I'm gonna just gamble and think that's going down. That's not my kind of style. So I really want to see 33 in order to go on long sides. So that took us a long time to go for this one. So hi Gina, you can't find your glasses. Is that really little help on TLC, on TIC? TIC? Is that a ticker name? Never heard of that one. Tech was overextended. GGW, yeah. Another panic sell, maybe, yeah, can be a panic sell. Hi Gina. What's up here? Well, what's up is that we're trying to call levels because I really want to trade levels on a stock. So I try to really get some levels on this stock, CRSR. That's what's up. I have a watch list. It's on the start of my video, and I'm gonna go to my watch list right now. We talked about Fubo a long time ago, and well, a long time ago, I think it was here 6 days ago or something, and we just called these levels here, fell through them. Let's erase those. So now you want to know, is Fubo, where does this end? So this is on a daily now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. Really tried to get up here 3 days ago, but without any success. So this is also something you're gonna be in a lot of problems if you're just gonna call and say, okay, this was once a level, for example, here. I'm just gonna wait till it gets down here and then play it. That's not something that I want to see here. So if there's not a level here, then what I want to see, so this one goes down even further here. Ooh. Let's say this is going down further here. So what I want to see on this one is just something like what we thought we saw here, just the first kind of trend break. There are no levels to be taken into account very seriously. Oh, are they? Well, if you really, really, really want to, then this area here might just be. But you want to see a setup here, goes down further, then gets up, makes a first higher low, and then in order to get in, you want to see also a new higher high. So I'm not going to call any levels on this one either. I'm going to see, note to self is price action on this one. Fubo, you just cannot say, okay, it's going down, I'm gonna pick it up somewhere here, and it is Fubo. It was once at 60. It's going down. I'm gonna buy the dip, but where do you buy the dip? Where? Here, here, here. You never know on this with this one. So waiting on price action. Fubo being held down on purpose, Stacy. Yeah. So waiting for price action on Fubo. Okay, let's look at Palantir. Oops. There's the same thing going on. This is what I said yesterday, price action. So it's similar to Fubo. Also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days in a row going down. But here we have something maybe going on here at this 23.6 area on the Fibonacci scale. I was juggling with that word. So maybe 1663 on Palantir will be a level. So keep in mind 1663 as a level to play this to the upside. But I'm also still gonna wait for some positive price action on Palantir to see if this one really wants to make a reversal. Okay, Jumia. We looked at this one more than once. And I thought this would be, no, I didn't think that this is the trend line. This was a level once. It broke that level here on Friday. Could have played that one. I didn't. And so this was a $4 play, $3 play, I think. Yeah, this is a $3 play. Now we're just watching Jumia, and I'm gonna see if there's something. This one is 1960. This one is 1961. So let's just have some fun with this one. 1961. It has earnings. Just type it in. That's a lot faster. 1961. On Jumia. And still waiting. There's still this possibility that it can break this one again. It's now under this 200 SME here. So bearish if you ask me. And in order to really get bullish on this one again, it has to break this trend line up. And if it breaks this 1961, then, well, you've got a big short on your hands, maybe not on a daily basis, but maybe you want to take this one as a swing trade. So these are the levels, the trend line and the levels for Jumia. Beware of the falling knives. Same chart, and yes, that's right, Luca. RKDA in a blink of an eye. So now you're asking me. I'm going to watch that one just in a minute. This is ET. Go home. No, this is ET, energy transfer. Really tried, not yesterday, really tried to break that 10 area here. So this is my dog again. She's really taking her job very seriously this week. So excuse me for that one. So this is 10.04 and this is 10. This is almost a double top here. I say almost. Technically spoken, not. So what you want to see here is What you want to see here is that it stays above this one, because otherwise there's a trend of lower highs and lower lows coming. So you want to see that it holds 935, 936 to the upside, 935, 936 to the upside. And if it breaks that, then there's immediate resistance here. So for the short, there's not enough room to the downside. You can play only the short if it also breaks this 9 EMA here, and then it is all the way back to 879. But you want to see this one holding 933. That's what I'm looking for, and then trading it back up, hoping it will break that 10 now. So a lot of eyes on ET, I know, and energy transfer. So just gonna see if that one's working today. So on a blink of an eye, RKDA. Oh, we played this one a lot of times now. On a blink of an eye, if it gets back to $5, that was the question. On a blink of an eye, no. Next. Market is crashing again. I see something saying, well, yeah. So there's a lot of dips to be bought if it's going to be a day like that, or otherwise if it's going to be a day like yesterday, then you just sit back and watch the fireworks. I do that all the time. If I think, well, okay, all the levels that I drew in are just rubbish because they just fall right through it, or just go up right through it. So will it get back to $5? No, it won't. Not anytime soon. Not with this resistance here on RKDA. Okay, this is better. So we looked at this one just briefly. I tried to say this is what I'm looking for. So I'm not sure if these are the levels. So erase those. This is a small stock. This is the 1 minute. This is the 5 minute. Hospitality, real estate. For a small stock, you really want to see the 677 break. Can it do that in 1 day? Well, normally it cannot. So that's not a level that you really are interested in too much. This is a level here. This is a level, small level here at 6. So I'm just gonna play this one off the. If there are no obvious levels, then I'm gonna play this one pre-market open 565 or post-market close 540 and dip here to 479. So that's also a level. Maybe you just can play the long reversal on this one, on this level 479. My dog is watching Dogecoin, yeah. Dogecoin, yeah. Are you still in that OP on Dogecoin? Yeah, look, I can see what you're saying. I can also see that you listen to our pre-market show with Dennis Dick and with Joel O'Connell and Spencer Israel. I think that you're completely right about that one. Okay, we talked about this one, and now we're going to see NTech. That's also mentioned in the chat, and it was on our watch list. So this was yesterday afternoon. It closed here around 4-ish, 4:20. Then in post-market, got all the way up to 571 here. Now in pre-market, tries to pop again and does not get there to that 571. So this is also what you want to, this, if you want to see a second day runner, then you really want to see this 571 break on the long side. This is now live what you see here, and let's pull this to the 1 minute. So no volume whatsoever, but it's not uncommon in pre-market, of course, but no volume at all. So I think it's fair to say that you really want 480 here on this first jump. 480 and 571 are the two levels for NTech. And also, of course, as always, pre-market open, post-market close. So the white line here is post-market close, this is pre-market open. That's for NTech, small stock. Looking for a second day runner on this one. We talked about this more than once. If it just stays here now and doesn't want to go any further, then you still can play it. It's just a $5 stock, so there's a lot of room between 480 and 571, and you have these two levels here also for pre-market open and post-market close. But what you really want to see, if after a big move like this, then this is the second day, gets up, gets rejected, but for day trade, that's just perfect play. So now looking a little bit closer to this one, and this 571 level is not just some level, as you can see here. So it's an area of interest, at least. This 580. Yeah, really want to see breaking 571 for me as a long bias trader to get into that one. So DDD wants to go up on a day like today. That's what I'm seeing. And NEO. Okay, let's do NEO one more time. I really am very curious about NEO, but looking at DDD, that's not Dennis Dick, of course. We played this one a lot of times. So these are all lines that we drew once. And now I'm going to take them off. Here. Okay, so this looks like it's bouncing here on the 200, almost on the 200 SME on a daily. So if it really thinks that this is support, it's just above that. It really rejected this used this 200 SME as support. It is now here fighting these levels. So if it wants to go up like on a day like today, then always nice to play a stock. I think it had earnings yesterday, did it? Looking at this. This is post-market. So it closed here yesterday at 1784, then big jump to 2236, and now it's under its pre-market open and under the post-market close. And you really want to see this one get above 2035 again for a long. That's just a tall order for it right now. It's under VWAP. It's at 1950-ish trading. And I want to see this one above VWAP and then trade it to the upside if this momentum continues. But I say if this momentum continues, but momentum was really now in post-market here. So if there's a trend at all, and this is a trend, is it or is it not? It just might be. It just might be. These are not really. So let's get some. Just anchor them here. Oh. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe this triangle here might just do the trick on this one. So I'm going to keep this one up here, and we don't want it to trade above VWAP, of course, on the long side, and on the short side you can just apply the rejection on a VWAP. Maybe this will be trend line. It's early hours, of course. It is the early bird show after all. So please beware of this one. But getting up on a day like today, I'm not quite sure. It lost momentum. Oh, you also wanted to look at NEO. Why not? Is there some reversal now on NEO? Oh, is it not? No, there's not. This was a level once. I saw some news on NEO yesterday, which wasn't the best news, I think. But other than that, NEO is under its 200 SME, it's under its 50, it's under its 9, it's under its 20. There's just a deep sea here. For NEO. So I'm not going to put that one on my watch list today. I'm not going to play the one. Where are we? Did we do this one? Yes, we did. Did we do Fastly? We didn't do Fastly, did we? No. So we hope that it would fill this gap. But, well, it had some trouble, to say the least, doing that. Big rejection here. Now it's below open and close. Well, anyway, you look at this one. If you see some signs that it will get up its feet again, I I have trouble seeing that on this one. If you want to say this is a level, then you can, but just no levels to be called on this one, because it's just stupid. So if there's no level, then I'm gonna do a note to myself, and I'm gonna trade this one on price action, because it can move nicely on a day if it gets some traction to the upside or to the downside. This is not the action that I want to see, so I want to see some price action before I do this one. NBLX. This is nice, isn't this? This is so nice to see this. You always, when you see this, you always wish, why did I, especially here, and 50 and 200 arc is crossing. Some people look at this and do their plays from these crosses here. I seldom do, but I see them and they work, as you can see. So this is how a normal stock trades. Goes up, a little bit down, then makes a higher high compared to this one, makes a higher low compared to this one, and so on and so on, and now has some trouble here, maybe still making higher highs, still making higher lows, but here for the first time it's getting a little bit in trouble, dipping just through that 50 and then getting up, getting back momentum here and making this new high. So when you're using your RSI, as I do sometimes, not all the time, but on a day trade, sometimes you cannot do that. But it's just another indicator to tell you if you're thinking going short or going long. Then this red line here, 70, is normally a signal that stock will go down. But as you can see here, it really has to go to 80, like this one, and then it goes down. So if it just touches it, set this 70, then it's not doing anything. So you when using those RSIs, you just cannot say, okay, it's above 70, it's going down anytime soon. You really have to look back on a chart and say, okay, it really has to be here in this 80 area on this RSI 14, the Willis RSI. So we just might look at this volume on a daily. Look at this volume on a daily compared to this. So Noble Midstream Partners, also an energy play. I'm completely bullish on this one. But don't get fooled by so there's no volume pre-market, so it's always difficult. No volume pre-market, and if there's no volume pre-market, then those levels are not. Normally it only moves 37 cents, so don't get fooled by that. It's the normal, it's the average ATR. So this is what you really want to see, of course, is a new high here and If this is the new high, and if this high breaks again, well, then you're long all the way, of course. But maybe a tall order. You can't really say right now, but you're still good on sound. I'm just thinking, can I call a level to the downside here, or just or support? I'm sorry. There's no obvious level. It's a very young stock, of course. It's recently IPO'd, so I'm willing to just take the $0.50 as a level of 15.50. I want to see it go further on the long side, and you can play it from 15.50 to 16.50. That's $1 for a $50 stock. That's good enough for me right now. Anything above 16.50, it will have a lot of room there to go up. So be careful with this one. Might be an enormous runner. Really, I'm impressed with this $11 million volume here. 11 million volume here. When you compare it to this one. Okay, it's almost 11. Oh my God. Time goes so quickly when you're doing this. AR on a daily, $11 stock. AR is just will this be the end of it? So that's what you want to know, of course. So this is a lot easier. 1144. I think this is it 1140. To the upsides. You don't want to see this one breaking, because then you have this first sign of a reverse pattern. So it has to hold 1076 and 1140 for AR, and then WU Western Union. Why not? This is interesting to me for Western Union. So nicely holding its 9 EMA all the way, then falling through it, then getting some support on the 20, falling through it, and now trying to regain here. Broke through those levels, and now you want to see if those levels at 25.62 are supports. And then 26, of course, you really want to see another high here. So you really have some nice support here at 25.62. So the best, what I'm looking for on trades like these is just that it gets up a little bit more in the pre-market and then holds this 25.62 and then breaks 26. So you can get in here, but VWAP will be in the way. So this just might be another nice VWAP play. And it just bounces up, gets down, bounces on VWAP, and then breaks 26. That's the ideal scenario for this one. Fastly is a dog here. You think on Neo? Okay, let's get it inside from. Let's get it inside for No Fomo Netsky. I like that. I like that name on Neo. You think it will get to 23? Whoa, yeah. $23. Just put in 23 here, just for the fun of it. I'm gonna put your name there. No FOMO Netsky. He called at 23. So if we're not gonna get down there today, I don't think so. So if you are short bias and you think, okay, this one will get down, then not only on a day trade, but maybe on a swing trade, you can just aim for the 23, according to No Fomo Netsky. Let's look at that one. Okay. Good morning, RMD. I didn't look at the chat for a while because we really had to XPEF. I see XPEF still something that we want to see. We talked about XPEF for a long time. Yeah, this is what we saw on XPEF. It broke this line, so this was the triangle that we drew 1, 2, 3, 4 days ago. Broke that, and now, in my opinion, it's anyone's guess where this one will go now. So cannot draw any levels on XPEF. Really? So now Mrs. Mabel is being promoted on my channel for currency. Please check out Catherine Ross and on our own channel, the Benzinga channel, and we have another crypto show also on the Benzinga channel. Please go to the YouTube, look at Benzinga, and look where you can trade crypto and with whom you can trade it with. Is there a trading service in Croatia? Well, we have some Croatian chat members. So put a question out, and maybe you can learn from each other in a chat. Andrew, I don't know if that's. I don't know what you really have to check in your own country what's really good for you on this one. So okay, guys, maybe you should continue your conversation on cryptos and things on another channel. I'm not a crypto trader, I'm a stock trader. So if you want to push any other trader, then please do that on her own channel or on your own Twitter account. It's all about learning from each other. So if she's any good, Miss Mabel, then please go there. But if there are no tickers left in the chat, then I'm gonna close this one down. Thank you for watching all, and then be sure that you check into our small camp conference within 2 days. Thank you very much for watching, and see you guys tomorrow.